Dr. Elst, what do you think about the BJP, everything, good, bad and the ugly, uncensored, the last 4 years?
Well, in terms of development, which they always claim, it seems that they have achieved quite a few things. At least, see, that's not my field at all, I can't judge it. But Mohandas Pai spoke at the World Hindu Conference in Chicago, and he enumerated a number of the achievements, like toilets for every family. And so his impression was, and that's probably what most BJP activists think, that the elections will be won on the strength of the development agenda, because whereas Vajpayee also shunned all Hindu issues and was very successful economically and thought that therefore he would win the elections in 2004. So unlike Vajpayee who lost, this time they count on winning, because at that time the only people profiting from his reforms were the entrepreneurial class, which, you know, in terms of vote bank is very small. And now the masses have profited.
Yeah.
And therefore quite a few people, including even Muslims and Christians, will vote for the BJP. That's at least what inside they seem to be thinking.
So that's the good. So
Yes.
what about the bad?
Well, as you know, in terms of cultural policy, they have done next to nothing, sometimes even negatively. Like, because of this development agenda, they are explicitly neglecting ancient arts, handicrafts and so on. They are not supporting the people working in the field of culture. But okay, that's, maybe you could say that that is a luxury issue. I don't think so, but I could understand people who say that. What is not a luxury issue at all is the discrimination against Hindus and the occasion to remedy that under the Modi government. I mean, if not now, when? You see, now they have the president, the vice president of government, a majority of state governments. They have everything going for them. It's a chance that probably will not come back very soon. So if it is not done now, I don't know when. So there are of course a few things that are difficult to do, like a common civil code, which is not really a Hindu demand anyway, it's a secular demand. And it ought to be the secularists that claim it for this common civil code. But I understand, you see, if they force that through, then there will be riots and all the imams and so on will be calling for resistance. So that they can let it wait, it's not important. But things that are very important for Hindus are control of their temples and ownership of their own school management. And so that is not there at all. And right now they could have changed the law, or maybe they didn't even have to change the law. Article 30 says that minorities have rights to their own education system. Now, that doesn't mean that the majority doesn't have that right. And indeed, if that had been the meaning, then the Constituent Assembly would never have accepted it. So probably you only have to refer it to the Supreme Court for an authoritative opinion, and immediately the discrimination, at least at the constitutional level, against Hindus will disappear. Then of course putting it into action is the next stage. Otherwise, you can amend the constitution. And so even if you don't have a majority, you can propose it just to raise the issue, to raise consciousness about it. If it fails this time around, well, you have a beautiful campaign issue, and next time around it may succeed. So anyway, this at any rate was the opportunity to do it. This term in government is almost over. They themselves seem to think that they will get the next chance. I am not too sure of it. But at any rate, if they do not have any inclination at all to do anything in this regard, I doubt that next time they will do so.
And the ugly?
Well, the ugly. There are a number of incidents with state governments where, for example, they have nationalized temples or taken over temples, even saying that the temple deity, who is a legal person in Indian law, cannot interfere because the deity is a minor, and minors shouldn't claim her too much. They should know their place. So Rama or whoever cannot object if the state government takes over the temple. Or for instance, you have just recently an announcement by the state government of Maharashtra that they are giving scholarships and so on to minority students. And they're boasting of it, that this is a historic event and so on. Well, I'm not sure it's that historic. I think the BJP and especially this government has already done a number of acts of appeasement before. But at any rate, that's what it is. It is appeasement, it is precisely that against which the Jan Sangh and the early BJP were against.
So you're not really optimistic about the situation currently?
Well, once in a while something very good happens, like the rise of Yogi Adityanath.
Okay.
And so, if people ask me, should we vote for the BJP at all? Personally, I think, yes, the BJP deserves some kind of punishment, but election day is probably not the best day to do it, because the alternative is even worse. A person like Adityanath would not have risen under Congress or under the communists. So it is a lesser evil. I'm aware that this is not a very motivating thought, that this doesn't generate much enthusiasm, but nevertheless, I think it is a sufficient reason to exercise a certain political wisdom and to choose the lesser evil over the rest.